Greetings of the day. Myself Chitra Sharma, Assistant Professor with AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, which is located in Pune. The subject which I will be covering today is hotel law, and the topic which we are going to say is the Sale of Goods Act 1936, in which I will be covering the part 1 of this. The objective of this presentation is basically to know what is the Sale of Goods Act and how important it is in the Indian Contract Act, and how does it controls the rights of a buyer and seller throughout the India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The topics which I am going to cover is the basic introduction of the Act, what are the essential or the key elements of the contract of sale, and what's the difference between a sale and an agreement to sale, where we will see few examples also. Let us have a look at the brief history of this act, how it came into existence. Basically, this act we have borrowed from the English Sales of Goods Act 1893, and this act came into existence on 1930, on 1st July. Prior to this act, the law of sale of goods was contained in the chapter 7 of the Indian Contract Act of 1872. This act is applicable to whole of India, including the Union territories, except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But after the Article 370, this act has been now slowly one by one, all acts have been slowly brought in the state of Jammu and Kashmir also. Let us understand the formation of contract of sale. According to section 4 under clause 1 of Indian Sales of Goods Act 1930, this act has been defined as a contract of sale of goods is a contract whereby the seller transfers or agrees to transfer the property of goods to the buyer for a price. Now let us understand certain essential elements of the contract of sale, like the first and the most important element is there must be two parties. That means a seller, there has to be a seller as well as a buyer. If one of them also doesn't exist, then this act doesn't stand. There has to be a transfer or agreement to transfer the ownership of goods. Here, the consideration being the price, the transfer from seller to owner has to happen. If that doesn't take place, then the act is not valid. The subject matter of contract must necessarily be a goods. It has to be some article. The sale of immovable property like a flat or a house is not covered under this act. That is covered under the Registration Act. The consideration is always a price, that is money. Contract of sale may be either in writing or words. If it is for a bigger item, it is always in writing, but for smaller item, it will be always words. For example, if you are going to go and purchase a mobile, there will be a bill which will be your evidence that you have paid the money and for which you have got the mobile. But if you are going to buy a grocery, if it's a supermarket, you get a bill. But if you go to a local kirana shop, it is always a oral conversation. All other essentials of the valid contract must be present. Now let us understand what is the definition of goods under this act. Goods means every kind of movable property, including stocks and shares, growing crops, grass, things attached to forming a part of land, which are agreed to be served before the sale or under the contract of sale. Like somebody wants to buy a farm. So whatever is there, whatever the trees are there, whatever crop is going over there, or whatever is there in that farm, it will be sold completely. That is known as goods. Actionable claims and money are not included in the definition of goods. Just speaking and not performing the duty, it won't be included in the definition of goods. Goods include every kind of movable property other than the actionable claim and money. For example, if somebody wants to take over some hotel, like they are going to take over the hotel, so they will buy completely with everything, like with the staff, with the goodwill of the hotel, with the copyrights of the hotel, with the trademark, with the patent rights, with the water, gas, electricity, all or the goods, and they be subject to matter of contract of sale. So the seller who is selling, he has to sell completely to the buyer. The test if the property on shifting shouldn't lose its character. That means if the hotel ownership is also changed, the original character of the hotel or the property should not lose in this transfer. Now let us see what are the different types of goods. First one is existing goods, the second one is a future goods, and the third one is a contingent goods. So what is existing goods? Goods which are physically in existence and which are the seller's ownership or in possession at the time of entering the contract of sale are called existing goods, where the seller is the owner and he has the general property in them. Like, I want to purchase around 10 bags of wheat. It is with the seller. Unless until I don't pay for it, I won't become the owner. So it is existing goods with the seller. Future goods. I want to purchase something in future. That is, we are talking in the future tense. Goods may be manufactured, produced or acquired by the seller after making of the contract of sale are called future goods. This comes under section 2 of 6. These goods may be either or not yet in the existence, be in existence but not yet acquired by the seller. I am paying half money or I am not paying any advance, but this is for the future goods, so I might get the good or I might not get the good. So that is known as future goods. Contingent goods. This is a type of future goods, these are the goods, the acquisition which by the seller depends on the contingency, which may or may not happen. This comes under section 6 under the clause 2. For example, A agrees to sell B a specific rare painting, provided he is able to purchase it from its present owner. This is a contract for the sale of contingent goods. Here, it might happen or it might not happen. So there is no clearance whether he will be owner of that good or not. Now let us see what is the difference between a sale and agreement to sell. This is a contract of sale of goods is a very generic term. A sale where the seller transfers the ownership rights to the buyer immediately on making the contract, it is a contract of sale. But where the ownership rights are to pass on some future date upon the fulfilling certain conditions, then it is known as agreement to sell. Let us a little bit understand sale. It is a contract where the ownership of goods is transferred by the seller to the buyer immediately at the conclusion of the contract. So, if we speak very strictly, sale takes place when there is a transfer of property in the goods from the seller to buyer. A sale is an executed contract. It must be noted here the payment of price is immaterial to transfer of property in goods. Like, for example, A wants to sell his motorcycle to B for 10,000 rupees. It is a sale since the ownership of motorcycle has been transferred to from A to B. What is the agreement to sell? It is a contract of sale where the transfer of property in the goods is to take place at a future date or subject to some condition thereafter to be fulfilled. Like, for example, A agreed to buy from B a certain quantity number of commercial washing machine for their hotel. The container carrying the washing machine was yet to arrive. This is an agreement to sale. In this case, the ownership of washing machine is yet to be transferred to A on the arrival of the container containing the specified goods. There are certain documents which are considered as document of title to the goods. So let us see what is this. A document of title of goods may be described as any document used as proof of possession or control of goods, authorizing or purporting to authorize either by endorsement or by delivery the possessor of the document to transfer or receive goods thereby represented. There are certain documents which acts as document of title to the goods. They are basically the bill of ordering. Like, if the hotel orders certain commercial washing machine, so the what is the order? The invoice, that is one of the document. Warranty of the machine, warranty of the period, Warehouse keeper certificate, if it has been stored in somewhere else before coming to hotel, that certificate is also one of the title of goods. Transport receipt, the container which is carrying or through the modes of transport whichever it is coming, that receipt is also one of the title of goods. Purchase order for the delivery of goods, where the purchase department takes out the purchase order for the machine, it's also title of goods. So we can conclude saying that sale of goods is the most common of all commercial transactions. Knowledge of sale of goods is important to all. Further, we will continue in the presentation 2, where we will learn about the different types of conditions and warranties. This presentation I have made with the help of the Hotel Law book, which is authored by Amitabh Devendra, and it's an Oxford publication. You can go through the quiz link which is given in the description box. Have a great learning and be safe.